What's up everybody, man, back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing another Godzilla Minus 2, aka Shinsaku Gojira news and updates. Today we are going to be talking about a major production update for Godzilla Minus One's sequel, as production begins, giving us a bit of a timeline on when we can expect this movie to be completed by, as well as a production update popping up in a quite interesting place, which might signal the next Godzilla movie having a bit more of an international helping hand. Let's talk about it. Alrighty, starting out with some artwork like always. This first piece comes to us from Verano. This is their Godzilla art. I have no clue how to say her name, I'm sorry. This one's really cool. It's like a very classic Godzilla. The longer I look at it, the more I'm convinced it's like just an original Godzilla. At first I thought it was Godzilla Minus One. Then I thought it was like a Showa Godzilla. It's giving Ebra Horror of the Deep vibes to me, but I actually think it might just be an original Godzilla. Either way, it's very cool. I love the fear factor of it. I really like the purple coloring, and I think this one turned out really well. This next one is also from them. It's super cool. It's this distorted Godzilla. It looks a little bit like if Minus One got fused with Shin Godzilla. It's got some very cool features. Like, I really like that face with that goblin mouth. I really like the ear. I love how contorted the spines are. It's got that kind of Shin Godzilla gill system going on into the chest, which is pretty sweet. And then I like those long arms. This one's very scary, very moody. Fantastic artwork. I really like it. Ratboy Mickey released this Godzilla Minus One poster art. It's super cool. Godzilla looks so cute here. I really like it. I really like this art style. You've got Shikishima and Noriko. They look fantastic as well. Down at the bottom, you've got the Godzillasaur stomping the jet in Odo. That is fantastic. And then you've obviously got the Shinden flying in there as well. This one is so cool. I really like it. I like how it ties in so many of the elements and characters from Godzilla Minus One. Tuzaha Animations continues to stun me. Tuzaha Animations is working on the Godzilla Infinity fan project, and their Godzilla redesign is revealed in full. They've actually revealed some looks at it already, but they wanted to give us another clarifying look, as many fans straight up thought the new Southeast Asia Godzilla was the Tuzaha Animations Godzilla, or that they designed the new Godzilla, and they confirmed they had no part of it. That's an official Toho Godzilla. Theirs is not. This fan redesign of Godzilla Minus One is its own thing, but it's kind of giving me Gemstone vibes. Remember when Gemstone came out with a short film, won a big contest because of how cool it was, and then got to go do some Godzilla projects? It's very possible that Tuzaha Animations could follow a similar path, especially with the quality of their work. I would love that. I think that their project is coming along really well. But I'm really curious what you guys think. What Godzilla design do you like more between this Tuzaha Animations Godzilla redesign and then the new Southeast Asia Godzilla redesign, which, as I discussed in my last Godzilla Minus One news and updates, very well could give us an indication where Godzilla's design heading in the Minus One sequel. I think that actually, really, if I'm being picky about it, I like the Tuzaha Animations one more. The spine shape is just a little cooler to me, and it's got a little more of a ferocity to it that I like. The only thing that I don't love is the tail. I don't love the spines on the tail, and I don't love the tip of the tail, but other than that, it's just perfect. It's so cool. It's a really scary, monstrous redesign of Minus One. They released a really impressive animation shot from their upcoming Godzilla project. It's so cool. I don't know what Godzilla does to send these trucks flying, but Godzilla sends this bus and a truck flying. I love the way that the bus bounces off the building and the way it interacts with it. The way the screen shakes when that tire hits the ground is fantastic as well. And then sending that water bottle flying. It's a great sequence. It turned out super well. It's got a lot of scale to it, a lot of weight to it. It's a fantastic angle, and I think we truly need more angles like this in the Monsterverse. The Monsterverse is severely missing moments like this that provide so much necessary scale to Godzilla. It's so cool. Godzilla 40573 celebrated Takashi Yamazaki's birthday with this cute little animation of Godzilla walking on over to this birthday cake. I don't know, there's like a little robot flying around too. Godzilla lights the candles with his atomic breath. It's very cute. Takashi Yamazaki was also very appreciative of this, which is very fun. Some Godzilla memorial medallions have been released. This Godzilla Memorial Medallion collection features 14 different medallions, and they're so cool. They've got a really nice texture to them. They've picked fantastic images of Godzilla. I really appreciate that we're representing all eras, including the Millennium era, which is so often slept on. Only thing that's not here is the Hollywood Godzillas, but I'm assuming that's because of a licensing issue. Either way, super cool, and I like the way that the title of the movie is embroidered across. As you can see, it says like Godzilla Minus One, or Shin Godzilla, or Giant Monsters All Out Attack. pack. It's pretty cool. They also are releasing a premium poster pack. There are premium posters coming out. They've got theatrical, poster, aesthetic, shine, and foil. And Toho announced that these are the highest quality posters being offered, and each poster set comes with a commentary booklet. The poster sets are a couple for Godzilla Minus One, and then a couple for Godzilla Kong the New Empire, which is pretty sweet. I particularly like set A and D, and then I also really like the New Empire Godzilla set. Pretty cool stuff, man. Maybe they're like movie theater sized. Maybe that's one of the selling points as well. Links down below if you want to go check out for yourself. Bottleneck NYC revealed their Gareth Ruth posters. So this features Godzilla coming out of the smoke. It's kind of combining the image of Godzilla towering over Noriko with the image of Godzilla getting blasted in front of the Waco building. Pretty cool stuff. I really like this poster. They come with a desaturated minus color version as well. It is a little different than the poster image we talked about a couple days ago. That was just a random -1 poster that popped up, but still pretty sweet. A Godzilla Minus One color changing head has been released. It's got different RGB colors that it can switch between. The top of the head lights up and it kind of makes it look like Godzilla's atomic breath is glowing from within. It's pretty cool. I like the head sculpt a lot, and it's a fun thing that they released. Some Godzilla bath bombs have been released. They're like mystery bath bombs. You don't know who you're gonna get. I really like the packaging. It's super cool to see the Kamata-kun render back in action. I really like that render. And you can get Mechagodzilla, Godzilla Minus One, Kamata-kun Destroya, or Gigan 72. Pretty sweet stuff. Some upcoming Godzilla Soft-V dolls were revealed. These Sophie dolls or Soft-V dolls are pretty cute. There's some very, very cute chibi Godzillas in here. I really like the Minus One. I also really like that Kamata-kun. Glad to see him still getting love in this day and age, and they're very fun. I really like that Rodan as well. He's super goofy. If I'm not mistaken, I think Shinji Nishikawa had some part in designing these. I believe so. The Bandai Movie Monster Series Godzilla 2004 Last Seen version and Godzilla 2023 Memorial Gold version are officially on sale, and I don't think they're on sale in the US Godzilla shop, as Kaiju News Outlet announces. You can still buy them from some overseas buying companies like Baiyi or 7net. I've had to buy through Baiyi before as well. Funko announced their upcoming Godzilla Minus One. This upcoming Godzilla Minus One Funko, which I've also seen referred to as a Super Funko, which made me think it was going to be big, but I believe it's just regular size, is going to debut at Anime Expo 2025. This LA convention runs from July 3rd through July 6th, so right around the corner here. This Godzilla Funko stands at 5.4 inches, so again, it's like a normal sized Funko. It is $20 at the Funko booth at Anime Expo 2025, so please, for the love of all things holy, do not spend your money on the like $100+ listings I've seen for this thing on eBay. It's not out yet. That's why the listings are so high. They don't have it yet either. I feel so bad for people who have spent that much money on this thing. It is dropping online on Funko's website later in 2025. It looks great. They've done a fantastic job bringing Godzilla to life in the Funko art style. Supposedly it comes with some sort of exclusive stickers on the box as well. The box itself is kind of basic. Actually might have liked it more if it was white with the G, just like the poster, but it's still kind of cool. The Godzilla itself does look really good though. The paint job looks great on the thing. They've done a really good job with the colors. It's actually a pre-scarred Godzilla. You can see he's missing the scars on his chest and I believe on his cheek as well, but either way, very cool. I love the textures on this thing. I've been a big fan of all the other Funko Godzillas, and I'll definitely try and get my hands on this one. The G-Zaurus Godzilla 2023 Train Bite version is being re-released from Premium Bandai. This is getting re-released on June 3rd. This is so fun. I really like this one. The sculpt is great on it. I love the train gimmick. I love the train accessory that goes in his mouth. That is super cute. He's got a great size to him as well. He's a lot bigger than you'd think he would be from those pictures. He's really sizable. I love the way they've done the spines on him. I love the way they've done the paint job on him. The whole thing I think looks really good. Hobby Japan Magazine has these wonderful photos featuring the Bandai Dynamic series posing Godzilla Minus One. This poster version Godzilla looks great. I really love this diorama they've set him up in. Great footprint there too. Just really nice details. Kind of represents the village that he crashes through at the end of the movie. It looks so cool. This is definitely a figure I would want to get my hands on. I think it turned out really well. They've done a really good job with the sculpt and the paint job on this thing. Really accentuates the front of Godzilla and the legs the sculpt and the paint job do. It's really cool. A Bandai Namco Cross store is opening up at Koshigaya Lake Town on June 14th with limited Godzilla goods. You can see here a mock-up image of what the store is going to look like, and they were hyping up the fact that they're selling a Godzilla Evangelion crossover figure, which is pretty sweet, this Burning Godzilla figure, which is pretty cool, and then an upcoming array of hyper-modeling Godzilla figures, which I'm not totally sure what those are, but you can see a Godzilla the Ride down there. I believe that's Godzilla the Ride, not Minus One, which is pretty rare to see Godzilla the Ride, and so that's pretty cool that he's getting sold like that, and he's got a pretty nice line lineup of other figures around him as well. Gormoro Island shared this really nice image of the Godzilla Minus One statue at the recently opened Godzilla store. I don't remember if this is the Godzilla store Yumeda or one of the other ones, but I cannot remember. It might be the Daiba Godzilla store. Either way, this Godzilla Minus One is repainted with the blue spines and blue mouth, representing the fact that he's all charged up. I think it looks fantastic. I think the blue looks really great on it. It really pops, and I really wanted to show this image off because I'll never get enough of that Godzilla statue. I think it's so cool. Godzilla and the 35 Pirates: The Road to the Academy Awards special edition documentary aired on June 21st, featuring behind-the-scenes info on the making of Godzilla Minus One. A previous version of this has already aired to celebrate the Academy Award, and they just did like an extended edition of it. I know Dai-chan has covered it extensively on his channel if you want to go check that out. During that, we got a really cute new animation of Godzilla Minus One. It's not really a deleted scene, it's a test shot from Godzilla Minus One. I believe it features an earlier unfinished version of the Godzilla Minus One model. The face and the neck look a little different to me. He looks a little different overall, but they called this the spoiled brat shot as Godzilla slaps the water like a spoiled brat. I think this was to get the motion of Godzilla down as well as to get the water simulations worked on, and it actually looks fantastic. I think that this little shot looks great. I don't know where it could have gone in the movie, but I like the anger Godzilla is displaying here. It's pretty fun. This isn't quite the only look we've gotten at that, as previously this image version of it was revealed. Now you can see it is a different version of the Godzilla Minus One model. It's unfinished. It looks a little like a cross between Godzilla the Ride and Godzilla from Always Sunset. It's pretty interesting, the Godzilla design seen here. I'm glad they made the changes they did. The spines are also really wonky here. They're like being melted. It's super interesting. There's a shot from the perspective of a boat, which is a great shot with great perspective, and it really adds to the scale of Godzilla as he slaps the water. And then there's the animation render of Godzilla slapping the water that we've seen here now on the documentary, which is pretty cool. This came to us from the Record of G-1.0. I really need that freaking book, man. Due to overwhelming praise and demand, Godzilla Minus One is getting a Taiwanese re-release on June 22nd at the Miramar Cinema. This news was broken by Dai-chan. Pretty cool. It looks like they've also got some Godzilla merch on sales too, which is pretty sweet. They've got some Godzilla Minus One shirts, some posters, and more, which is very cool. The new Superman movie was partially inspired by Godzilla Minus One. James Gunn's upcoming Superman film obviously has a kaiju featured in it. This kaiju I think is adorable and very cute. I do not think it's gonna go well for this kaiju. If you've seen the toy for this kaiju, I think he is in for it in this movie. I think Superman is gonna turn out to do exactly what I thought he would do to Godzilla in a fight that wasn't scuffed. Obviously, they had to scale down Superman's power and change the way Godzilla's atomic breath worked, saying that it acts like kryptonite in order to get the Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong comic to work properly. But here we can see if Superman was fighting a Godzilla that didn't have that atomic breath super ability, whatever kryptonite radiation Godzilla was emitting, I think the fight would go pretty differently. Either way, well, I guess we'll find out when the new Superman movie comes out. I'm very excited to see this kaiju fight. Obviously love kaiju, if you couldn't tell. So I'm pretty hyped for that. And James Gunn opened up a little bit about it. He reveals that he grew up with an obsession for Ultraman. In fact, there's even a character in the new Superman movie called Ultraman, although he has absolutely nothing to do with the Ultraman that we all know and love. He also reveals that he was a big fan of Kamen Rider. This was all because the trailer for the Superman movie featured a kaiju, so Cinema Today Japan interviewed James Gunn about the upcoming film, and in particular wanted to hear about that kaiju sequence. James Gunn revealed that he was inspired by Ultraman when making Superman, and tried to bring that sort of fun sense to the new movie, in terms of special effects and fantasy, and James Gunn wanted to capture similar vibes to the original Ultraman using giant monsters, robots, flying dogs, and superheroes. He then reveals he was particularly inspired by Godzilla Minus One, and his goal was to make a great film just like Godzilla Minus One that depicts both human drama and spectacle balanced together. He praises Minus One as being the peak of doing that type of human drama in a broader epic story, which is pretty cool. According to Crave Culture, although they did not cite their frickin' source, Takashi Yamazaki said, "Yeah, I'm a little teary-eyed upon hearing the news that James Gunn's Superman was partially inspired by Godzilla Minus One." And that brings us to the big news. This comes to us from Cine Intern Bunka. This is a government-run website that posts staffing recruitment notices. It's run by the Agency of Cultural Affairs in Japan, and it gives us a bit of a timeline for the production of Godzilla Minus One's sequel. It announces the latest work by director Takashi Yamazaki. Major directorial works include Always Sunset on 3rd, Eternal Zero, and Godzilla Minus One, is now recruiting. The acceptance period, which means the period of time you'll be working, is from August to December 2025. You'll be working on this new movie, meaning the shooting schedule for Godzilla Minus One's sequel is August to December. That actually gives me an indication that the next movie might have a bit more of a fall vibe than Godzilla Minus One did, as this seems to be the timeline for production itself. Production means cameras rolling, filming, they're going to different locations and shooting. This could also include things like location scouting, which I don't believe they've done yet. So they're going to need to start location scouting and then filming for the new Godzilla movie. This is a little different than the last Godzilla film, which if I'm not mistaken, Godzilla Minus One shot in the summer period itself. But this does give us a bit of an indication on where we're heading, because Godzilla Minus One kind of followed a similar path. Godzilla Minus One shot for, I believe it was like a 4 to 6 month shoot period. And then following that, there was like kind of like 11 months-ish of post-production. But halfway through that, about 6 months in, we started to get our trailers for Godzilla Minus One. I believe by this time next summer, we'll be getting the trailers for Godzilla Minus One. I know some people are expecting trailers to start dropping even sooner. I don't think post-production is going to be far enough along. If they're ending filming in December, I don't think post-production is going to be far enough along for them to start dropping trailers earlier than the summer. But I'm going to say we could get a spring trailer like Shin Godzilla had, I suppose. I would think, though, that we're going to start to get our trailers for the next Godzilla movie in the summer, and then the movie will probably drop once again in the fall of 2026, which is a pretty solid timeline. I'm very excited about that. They're filming all over Tokyo, and that seems like where all of the shooting is going to happen. This is the same way it was for Godzilla Minus One for the most part. I saw some people asking me if this production timeline is standard for Hollywood movies. About 6 months, I would say, is pretty standard for Hollywood films. Actually, a lot of Hollywood films are shot even faster than that. And if I'm not mistaken, Godzilla Minus One was shot a little faster than that as well. So it means that they're taking a lot of time on this. Obviously, we know the scope of this next movie is supposed to be a lot larger than Godzilla Minus One was. So they might need some extra time to work on this thing. As you can bet, Dai-chan was breaking the news, super hyped that this was all going down, announcing that filming was going to begin in August and that things are finally starting. He believes that we're going to see this wrap within the next year and the release will happen in the fall or winter of 2026, just like I do. Kaiju number 14 also made this observation, which is pretty sweet, that August is going to mark the first time 2 Godzilla films were simultaneously filming. This is sort of true, only if we don't consider the anime movies to be part of that. Like, we're talking live action Godzilla movies here, because the anime movies were actually being worked on at the exact same time as Godzilla King of the Monsters. But I understand what he's saying, and that is very cool. The first time 2 Godzilla films are out there shooting in the world, as Godzilla Kong Supernova is going to be filming in Utah around this time, at least according to their production guide, and Godzilla Minus One sequel is about to begin filming. We have another bit of confirmation that the next Toho Godzilla movie will, in fact, be a Godzilla Minus One sequel. Now, despite the fact that staffing website only refers to it as the latest work from Takashi Yamazaki, Dai-chan, once again breaking the news, found that in Production Weekly magazine, it includes a mention to the untitled Godzilla Minus One sequel. This is on their upcoming movies list of films that are going to start to film and be released soon. Dai-chan notices how rare it is for foreign films to be covered in this Hollywood magazine, and he theorizes that maybe it's because that they're going to have some sort of Hollywood distribution deal, or maybe even American funding. Some people would be a little worried to hear that maybe America is going to have some sort of funding on this movie. It would not be the first time. First of all, the MonsterVerse are co-productions between Toho and Legendary and Warner Bros. Obviously, Toho is working on the MonsterVerse films right alongside Legendary. But it would not be the first time that a Godzilla movie had international support. Actually, there was a couple back in the day. Invasion of Astro Monster was part of a co-production project, which I believe was headed by Henry G. Saperstein. This project also included movies like Frankenstein Conquers the World and The War of the Gargantuas, and that's why Nick Adams appears in Invasion of Astro Monster. That's why the scope and scale of that movie is a little bigger than the other Toho Godzilla movies at the time. That's why the special effects sequences are a little more elaborate, and that's why it features an American as a co-lead. That movie's obviously beloved by fans, and so there's nothing to really be worried about here, even if the US is involved. But I've seen your comments. You guys particularly do not want the US to be involved in this next movie, and I'll say I don't think that this is going to be. I don't think that it will be. I don't think that this Production Weekly coverage means much of anything other than the fact that Godzilla Minus One was such an enormous hit overseas that they want to start covering the next movie closely because it's such a hot topic item online. I think they're just chasing the views here, and obviously Godzilla Minus One's a big deal, so they're going to be covering the next Godzilla film in the process. This untitled Godzilla Minus One sequel also doesn't tell me too much of anything because this comes to us once again from Production Weekly rather than from someone like Toho directly, and so I still am not taking that as 100% official confirmation that the next film will be a sequel, although I'll keep saying till the end of time, I do believe it will be a Godzilla Minus One sequel. And that is where I will leave you for this one. What do you guys think about Superman being partially inspired by Godzilla Minus One? What do you think about the production timeline for the Godzilla Minus One sequel? When do you think the movie will come out? I'm sticking to my guns here. I think it'll come out probably around November in 2026. I think they're going to try and recapture that lightning in a bottle, and I don't know why they wouldn't. And what do you think about that Production Weekly update? Comment down below, let me know. As always, I want to give a huge thank you to my Patreon patrons over on Patreon. It is through the support of the patrons on Patreon that I'm able to continue to make videos like this for you. If you want to support the Patreon, you can use the link in the description below where you can get early access to content, access to the Discord community, and more. If that's not your thing, please consider joining as a channel member. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you all next time for the next one. D-Man, out.